Have you ever felt overwhelmed by negative thoughts swirling in your mind, constantly worrying about things outside your control, or doubting your own abilities and self-worth? If so, you're not alone. In today's fast-paced world, many of us struggle with habits that chip away at our mental well-being and hold us back from reaching our full potential. But what if I told you there is a timeless philosophy that can help you break free from these toxic patterns? A way of thinking that has been embraced by some of history's greatest minds, from emperors to enslaved people, soldiers to scholars. That philosophy is Stoicism. And in this video, we'll explore how its ancient wisdom can liberate you from 7 crippling habits that may be sabotaging your happiness and success. You see, the Stoics believed that true freedom and tranquility come from focusing our energy on what is within our control while letting go of what is not. Epictetus said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things beyond the power of our will." Over the next hour, we'll dive deep into 7 damaging behaviors that the Stoics identified as obstacles to a fulfilling life. Overthinking, trying to please everyone, living in the past, constantly worrying, self-doubt, negative self-talk, procrastination. For each of these, we'll examine the Stoic perspective and insights from philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, and provide practical, modern-day strategies to help you quit these habits for good. Many of you can relate to at least 1 or 2 behaviors hindering your life. Maybe you're a chronic overthinker whose racing mind keeps you up at night, or a people pleaser who has lost touch with your values and desires. Whatever your struggle, I invite you to share it in the comments below. Overcoming deeply ingrained patterns is no easy feat. It takes courage, self-awareness, and a steadfast commitment to personal growth. But the rewards are immense. A profound sense of inner peace, unshakable confidence, and the ability to fully embrace each present moment. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. By aligning our mindset with Stoic virtues like resilience, self-control, and rational thinking, we can transform our experiences and reclaim our power over the habits holding us back. So brace yourself for an insightful, engaging, and potentially life-changing journey. One where you'll gain a deeper understanding of your behaviors and acquire powerful tools to cultivate the existence you truly desire and deserve. A life free from the shackles of overthinking, people-pleasing, and the other joy-sapping habits we'll explore. But to get there, we must start by examining habit 1, overthinking. Seneca wisely stated, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." So, let's dive in and learn how to quiet that restless mind. Overthinking. In our fast-paced, information-overloaded world, the tendency to overthink has become a pandemic. We're constantly bombarded with stimuli, choices, and what-ifs that send our minds into frenzied overdrive. Overthinking is that constant inner voice that stubbornly replays past situations, frets about future uncertainties, and blows minor concerns out of proportion. The endless cycle of churning thoughts leaves us drained, anxious, and paralyzed. As Seneca warned, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. That's because when we overthink, we mentally construct worst-case scenarios and catastrophize minor issues into looming disasters. The more we dwell on these imagined threats, the more accurate and terrifying they become. This pernicious habit doesn't just compromise our mental health, it sabotages productivity, decision-making, and our ability to embrace the present moment. When our minds are caught in the overthinking loop, we can't take purposeful action or appreciate the beauty and richness of what's right in front of us. Fortunately, the ancient Stoics developed robust mental frameworks to counter overthinking and cultivate tranquility, an unshakable inner calm amidst life's inevitable turbulence. At the core of their philosophy was the notion that we cannot control external events, only our judgments and reactions to them. As Marcus Aurelius proclaimed, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it." The Stoics taught that our overthinking stems from irrational beliefs and desires about how we think the world should be, rather than accepting reality as it is. Reframing our perspective through reason and self-discipline can escape the overthinking prison. One powerful Stoic exercise is called the view from above. It involves zooming out and looking at your current situation from a broader vantage point, almost like watching yourself on a grand stage. This mental shift helps you detach from the intense, myopic fixation that fuels overthinking and see your circumstances through a more rational, balanced lens. Another Stoic antidote is called negative visualization, vividly picturing losing the things you currently have, like your possessions or relationships. This exercise cultivates gratitude by reminding you that nothing is permanently guaranteed. That perspective makes you less likely to cling to and obsess over ultimately impermanent circumstances. Here are some practical guides. 1. Learn to identify your overthinking triggers, certain situations, topics, or even times of day when your mind tends to spiral. 2. When you notice overthinking arising, pause and take several deep breaths to create space between you and your whirling thoughts. 3. Practice the view from above by imagining you're a Stoic impartial observer watching the situation from a distance or space. What would this look like? How significant is it? 4. Ask yourself whether this issue will matter in 1 year, 5 years, etc. Most of what we obsess over has little long-term relevance. 5. Stoic negative visualization. Vividly picture your current situation or possessions being taken away for a dose of humble gratitude. 6. Be present. When your mind wanders to other times, gently bring it back to this moment, the only real thing. Are you already familiar with the situation where you found yourself staring at your phone for what seems like an eternity, agonizing over whether to send that text message you just drafted? You may have rewritten it 10 times, analyzing every word choice and punctuation mark for unintended meanings. Let's consider the story of Sarah. Sarah knows this feeling all too well. The other day at work, she sent a friendly Slack message to her manager about an upcoming project. Harmless enough, right? But almost immediately, her mind kicked into overdrive. Did I come across as too casual by not using proper capitalization? Or was it weirdly formal by saying good morning first? Maybe I should have added an emoji to seem more approachable. Oh no, what if she thinks I'm being passive-aggressive by following up on this so soon? Before she knew it, Sarah was drowning in a whirlpool of imagined interpretations and worst-case scenarios about this minor interaction. She spent the rest of her workday utterly distracted, rereading that Slack message every few minutes and berating herself for things she may have phrased incorrectly or insensitively. By the time she got home, Sarah was consumed with anxiety that she had somehow offended her manager without realizing it. She even considered sending a follow-up apology despite having no reason to believe she'd done anything wrong. All because her overthinking took on a destructive life of its own. Does this resonate at all? We've all fallen into the overthinking trap at some point, blowing trivialities out of proportion and catastrophizing situations that are ultimately insignificant. As the Stoics taught, when we dwell in the imaginary world of our restless mind, We suffer more in imagination than in reality. So let's practice together right now. Close your eyes and picture yourself in a recent situation you've been overthinking or ruminating on. Maybe it's feeling rejected after a job interview or stewing over something a loved one said. Whatever it is, visualize it vividly. Now zoom out and imagine you're watching the scene unfold as an objective third party. Notice how it appears smaller and less overwhelming from this separate vantage point. Consider whether this issue will matter in the grand scheme of things a year or 5 years from now. If not, why continue torturing yourself over something so insignificant and temporary? Take a deep breath and commit to redirecting your mind's energy towards more productive, enriching thoughts whenever that overthinking loop tries to start again. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Let's choose to make it good. I'll include more interactive exercises like this throughout the video to help you immediately implement the Stoic solutions I'm sharing. Up next, we'll tackle the toxic habit of people-pleasing and reframe it through the lens of rational self-interest. Don't go anywhere. Trying to please everyone or people-pleasing. We live in a world where the pressure to conform and be liked is immense. Social media has amplified this, creating constant comparisons and perceived judgments. In this environment, many of us fall into the trap of people-pleasing. This habit can be just as destructive as overthinking. People-pleasing goes beyond simple kindness or consideration. It's a compulsive need to gain approval and avoid conflict at all costs, often at the expense of our well-being and authenticity. The people-pleaser becomes a chameleon, constantly shifting their behavior, opinions, and values to match what they think others want. The habit can manifest in various ways. 1. Saying yes to requests even when we're overwhelmed. 2. Apologizing excessively even for things that aren't our fault. 3. Avoiding expressing our genuine opinions for fear of disagreement. 4. Neglecting our own needs to attend to others. 5. Feeling responsible for others' emotions and trying to fix them. While it may seem harmless or even virtuous on the surface, chronic people-pleasing takes a heavy toll. It leads to burnout, resentment, loss of self-identity, and paradoxically often results in less authentic relationships. As the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely noted, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. The Stoics recognized the futility and danger of trying to please everyone. They understood that true fulfillment comes not from external validation, but from living by one's values and virtues. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, offered this powerful advice: be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. This encapsulates the Stoic approach to dealing with others. Show understanding and kindness, but don't compromise your principles or well-being. The Stoics emphasized the importance of focusing on what's within our control. We can control our actions and reactions, but we cannot control others' opinions or feelings about us. Epictetus put it bluntly: if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. This doesn't mean we should be inconsiderate or selfish. Instead, it's about balancing being kind and maintaining our integrity. The Stoics believed in the concept of oikeiosis, a process of self-realization and outward extending our circle of concern. We start by taking care of ourselves, then our close relations, and gradually expand our circle of care to encompass all of humanity. By prioritizing our values and well-being, we become better equipped to help others rather than merely pleasing them superficially, genuinely. Practical guide. 1. Identify your core values. Reflect on what truly matters. What principles do you want to follow regardless of others' opinions? 2. Practice saying no. Start small. Decline a minor request that aligns differently from your priorities. Remember, saying no to one thing allows you to say yes to something more substantial. 3. Set and communicate boundaries. Clearly express your limits to others. For example, I can help you with this project, but I'll need to finish by 5 p.m. to maintain my work-life balance. 4. Embrace discomfort. Recognize that it's okay if not everyone likes or agrees with you. As Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. 5. Practice self-compassion. When you feel the urge to people-please, treat yourself with the same kindness you'd show a friend. 6. Reframe your perspective. Instead of making others happy, focus on being authentic and kind. Genuine connections are built on honesty rather than constant agreeability. 7. Reflect on consequences. Consider the impact on your well-being and values before agreeing to something. Is it worth the potential stress or compromise? Let me help you guys by providing an example to simplify it. Let's consider the story of Maria, a talented graphic designer working at a fast-paced advertising agency. Maria was known for her creativity and efficiency, but she had a hard time saying no to any request that came her way. Colleagues often asked her to do extra work, even when she was already swamped with projects. Clients would demand last-minute changes, and Maria would agree, working late into the night to accommodate them. Her boss casually mentioned weekend work, and Maria obliged without hesitation. At first, Maria felt proud of her reputation as the go-to person who could handle anything. But over time, the constant people-pleasing took its toll. Her projects began to suffer as she juggled too many commitments. She felt constantly stressed and resentful, yet couldn't bring herself to turn down any requests. The breaking point came when Maria missed her sister's wedding anniversary dinner, an event she had promised to attend, because a client asked for revisions at the last minute. Sitting alone in her office that night, Maria realized something had to change. Inspired by Stoic philosophy, Maria began reassessing her priorities and setting clear boundaries. She started by having an honest conversation with her boss about her workload and the need for a better work-life balance. To her surprise, her boss was supportive and helped redistribute some of her tasks. Maria then practiced saying no to non-essential requests, focusing her energy on projects aligned with her values and career goals. She communicated clearly with clients about realistic timelines and the impact of last-minute changes. At first, this shift was uncomfortable. Maria worried she was letting people down or damaging her reputation. However, as Epictetus advised, she learned to be content to be thought foolish and stupid by those who didn't understand her boundaries. Over time, Maria noticed a remarkable change. Her work quality improved as she focused on fewer, more meaningful projects. She felt more energized and creative. Most surprisingly, her professional and personal relationships became more authentic and satisfying. By being true to herself, Maria attracted people who appreciated her for who she was, not just for what she could do for them. Maria's journey illustrates the Stoic principle that true strength comes not from trying to please everyone, but from staying true to one's values and maintaining healthy boundaries. Now, I want you to take a moment and reflect on your own life. Please identify areas where you might be falling into the people-pleasing trap. It's always saying yes to extra work or agreeing with others' opinions, even when you disagree internally. In the comments below, share one specific instance where you've struggled with people-pleasing. Then, inspired by the Stoic principles we've discussed, tell us how you might handle that situation differently. Remember, this is about progress, not perfection. Even small steps towards authenticity and healthy boundaries can lead to significant positive changes in your life. As we move forward, remember these words from Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In our next section, we'll explore how to break free from the chains of living in the past, another habit that robs us of our present joy and future potential. Living in the past. In our journey through life, we often find ourselves caught in the grip of the past. We replay old memories, rehash bygone conflicts, and dwell on missed opportunities. This habit of living in the past can be as insidious as it is expected, silently rotting our happiness and hindering our personal growth. Living in the past manifests in various ways, constantly reminiscing about the good old days, harboring grudges or resentment over past wrongs, fixating on past mistakes or failures, comparing current situations unfavorably to past experiences, holding on to outdated beliefs or perspectives. While reflection can be valuable, excessive focus on the past prevents us from fully engaging with the present and preparing for the future. It's like trying to drive a car while staring in the rearview mirror. You're bound to crash. The great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius recognized this danger when he wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." By clinging to the past, we resist the natural flow of change and limit our potential for growth and happiness. The Stoics offered powerful insights to help us break free from the tyranny of the past. At the core of their philosophy was emphasizing the present moment, the only time we truly have control over it. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Don't let your reflection on the whole sweep of life crush you. Don't fill your mind with all the bad things that might still happen. Stay focused on the present situation and ask yourself why it's so unbearable and can't be survived." This doesn't mean we should ignore the past entirely. The Stoics believed in learning from history, both personal and collective. However, they emphasized using these lessons to inform present actions rather than dwelling on what cannot be changed. Epictetus offered this practical wisdom. Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well. This perspective encourages us to accept the past as it was, learn from it, and then direct our energy towards the present and future. The Stoics also recognized the impermanence of all things. Heraclitus, an influence on Stoic thought, famously said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man." This reminder of constant change can help us let go of the past and embrace the possibilities of the present. Practical guide. 1. Practice mindfulness. Regularly bring your attention to the present moment. Notice your surroundings, your breath, your bodily sensations. 2. Journal about the past. Write about past events you're holding on to, but focus on extracting lessons for the present and future. 3. Perform a past inventory. List things you're holding on to from your past. For each item, ask, "Can I change this now?" If not, practice accepting it and letting it go. 4. Use visualization. Imagine placing past regrets or painful memories into a balloon and watching it float away. 5. Reframe past experiences. Look for the growth opportunities in past challenges. How have difficult experiences shaped you positively? 6. Practice gratitude. Daily, list 3 things you're grateful for in the present. This helps shift focus from past to present. 7. Set future goals. Create clear, achievable objectives for your future. This gives you something positive to focus on instead of the past. Let me help you guys by providing an example to simplify it. Let's consider the story of David, a 45-year-old marketing executive. David passed up a tech startup job offer 10 years ago, staying with his stable corporate position. That startup became a billion-dollar company, and David was consumed with regret and what ifs. David's fixation on this missed opportunity affected every aspect of his life. He became bitter and resentful, constantly comparing his current life unfavorably to the imagined life he could have had. His performance at work suffered as he lost motivation, believing he had already missed his big chance. His relationships strained as he withdrew emotionally, lost in thoughts of what could have been. One day, while browsing a bookstore, David stumbled upon a book on Stoic philosophy. He was struck by a quote from Seneca: "The greatest loss of time is delay and expectation, which depend upon the future. We let go the present which we have in our power, and look forward to that which depends upon chance, and so relinquish a certainty for an uncertainty." This was a wake-up call for David. He realized he had been sacrificing his present happiness for an idealized past that could never be changed. Inspired by Stoic principles, David began to shift his perspective. 1. He practiced mindfulness, using simple techniques like focusing on his breath to bring himself back to the present moment whenever he caught dwelling on the past. 2. He started a journal not to rehash old regrets, but to extract lessons from his experiences. He realized that staying in his corporate job had provided stability that allowed him to support his family through some challenging times. 3. David performed a past inventory, listing everything he was holding on to. For each item, he asked himself, "Can I change this now?" If not, he practiced accepting it and letting it go. 4. He set new future goals, focusing on ways he could innovate within his current role and industry. This gave him a positive focus for his energy. 5. David started a daily gratitude practice, listing 3 things he was thankful for in his present life. This helped him recognize the value of his current situation. Gradually, David noticed a significant shift in his outlook and quality of life. By focusing on the present and future rather than the unchangeable past, he found renewed enthusiasm for his work. He came up with innovative marketing strategies that earned him a promotion. His relationships improved as he became more emotionally present and positive. Most importantly, David found a sense of peace and contentment that had eluded him for years. He realized that while he couldn't change the past, he had the power to shape his present and future. David's journey illustrates the Stoic principle that true freedom comes from focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, judgments, and actions in the present moment, rather than lamenting what we cannot change. Now, I invite you to reflect on your life with the same Stoic lesson. Are there past events or decisions that you find yourself dwelling on? How might this focus on the past affect your present happiness and future potential? Take a moment to write down one past event that you frequently revisit in your mind. Now, channeling the Stoic approach, ask yourself, 1. What lesson can I extract from this experience? 2. How can I apply this lesson to improve my present and future? 3. What am I grateful for in my current life that this past event made possible? Share your insights in the comments below. Remember, the goal isn't to ignore or forget the past, but to use it as a tool for present growth and future planning. As we move forward, remember these words from Marcus Aurelius: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In our next section, we'll tackle the habit of constant worrying, exploring how Stoic principles can help us find peace amidst life's uncertainties. Constantly worrying. Worry is a universal human experience, but it can paralyze us and rob us of joy when it becomes chronic. Worry has reached epidemic proportions in our modern world, filled with constant streams of information and perceived threats. Worry is the mind's attempt to control the uncontrollable. It's a mental habit of fixating on potential future problems, often imagining worst-case scenarios. While a certain level of concern can be productive, excessive worrying rarely solves problems. Instead, it creates a host of new ones like chronic stress and anxiety, difficulty concentrating and making decisions, sleep disturbances, physical health issues like headaches and digestive problems, strained relationships due to constant negativity, avoidance of new experiences or opportunities due to fear. The irony of worry is that it often causes more suffering than the events we're worrying about. As Mark Twain humorously noted, "I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened." The Stoics recognized worry as a misuse of our imaginative faculties and offered powerful strategies to combat it. At the core of their approach was the concept of the dichotomy of control, the idea that some things are within our control while others are not. Epictetus articulated this principle clearly. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. By focusing our energy on what we can control, our thoughts, judgments, and actions, we can let go of fruitless worry about external events beyond our influence. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of living in the present moment. Seneca advised, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." We can escape the trap of imagining future calamities by grounding ourselves in the here and now. Moreover, the Stoics practiced negative visualization or premeditation of evils. This involves deliberately imagining worst-case scenarios, not to worry about them, but to prepare for them rationally and reduce their power to disturb us. As Marcus Aurelius said, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." By mentally preparing for challenges, we're less likely to be thrown off balance when they occur. Practical guide. 1. Practice the dichotomy of control. When worrying, ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, practice accepting it and redirecting your energy to what you can influence. 2. Use negative visualization. Spend a few minutes each day imagining challenging scenarios. Then, plan how you'd cope with them rationally. 3. Implement a worry time. Set aside a specific 15-30-minute period each day for worrying. When worries arise outside this time, note them down for later. 4. Practice mindfulness. Regular meditation or mindfulness exercises can help you stay grounded in the present moment. 5. Challenge your worries. When a concern arises, ask yourself, what's the evidence for and against this thought? How likely is this to happen? What's the worst that could happen, and how would I cope? 6. Take action on solvable problems. If your worry is about something you can influence, make an action plan instead of dwelling on it. 7. Practice gratitude. Regularly noting what you're thankful for can shift your focus from potential negatives to existing positives. Meet Sarah, a 32-year-old project manager at a tech startup. Sarah was known for her efficiency and attention to detail, but these qualities fueled her tendency to worry excessively. She'd lie awake at night imagining how her current project could fail, mentally replaying every interaction with her team for potential misunderstandings and worrying about future job security in the volatile tech industry. Sarah's constant state of worry began to affect her performance. She second-guessed every decision, hesitated to delegate tasks for fear they wouldn't be done perfectly, and struggled to meet deadlines as she obsessed over minor details. Her personal life suffered too, as she found herself too mentally exhausted to enjoy time with friends and family. The turning point came when Sarah's manager, noticing her stress, recommended a book on Stoic philosophy. Epictetus's teachings particularly struck Sarah on the dichotomy of control. She realized she was expending enormous mental energy on things largely outside her influence. market trends, her colleagues' opinions, and potential future problems that might never materialize. Inspired by Stoic principles, Sarah began to reshape her approach. 1. She started each day by listing what was within her control, her effort, her responses, her attitude, and what wasn't: the economy, others' actions, unforeseen obstacles. This helped her focus her energy more productively. 2. Sarah implemented a daily worry time. When worries arose during the day, she'd jot them down to revisit during her 20-minute worry period. Often she found that by the time her worry time arrived, many concerns had resolved themselves or no longer seemed significant. 3. She practiced negative visualization, spending a few minutes each morning imagining challenges she might face that day. This mental preparation helped her feel more confident and less anxious when real challenges arose. 4. Sarah started a mindfulness practice, using a smartphone app to guide her through 10-minute daily meditations. This helped her stay grounded in the present rather than fretting about the future. 5. When worries did arise, Sarah learned to challenge them rationally. She'd ask herself, what's the evidence for this worry? How likely is this to happen? What's the worst-case scenario? And how would I cope? 6. For worries about concrete problems, Sarah shifted from rumination to action. Instead of endlessly worrying about a project timeline, she'd create a detailed plan to address potential bottlenecks. Over time, Sarah noticed a significant shift. Her mind felt more apparent, and she slept better at night. Her work performance improved as she focused on what she could control and let go of excessive worry about potential failures. She found herself more present and engaged in her relationships. Most importantly, Sarah discovered a new sense of inner calm. As Epictetus taught, people are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. By changing her perspective on worry, Sarah changed her entire life experience. Now it's your turn to apply these Stoic principles to your worries. Take a moment to identify a persistent concern in your life. Write it down, then ask yourself, 1. Is this within my control? If not, can I accept it? 2. What's the evidence for and against this worry? 3. What's the worst, and how would I cope? 4. Is there any action I can take to address this concern? Share your insights in the comments below. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate worry, but to transform it from a paralyzing force into a tool for productive action and personal growth. As we move forward, remember these words from Epictetus: make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. In our next section, we'll confront the insidious habit of self-doubt, exploring how Stoic wisdom can help us build unshakable self-confidence. Self-doubt. Self-doubt is a formidable adversary that many of us face daily. It's that nagging inner voice that whispers, "You're not good enough," "You can't do this," or "Who do you think you are?" This persistent questioning of our abilities, worth, and decisions can be paralyzing, hindering personal growth and preventing us from reaching our full potential. Self-doubt manifests in various ways: hesitation to pursue goals or opportunities, constant comparison to others, perfectionism and fear of failure, difficulty making decisions, seeking excessive validation from others, downplaying achievements or successes. At its core, self-doubt stems from a lack of trust in our judgment and capabilities. It's often rooted in past experiences, societal pressures, or unrealistic expectations we set for ourselves. While a healthy dose of self-reflection can be beneficial, chronic self-doubt erodes our confidence. It limits our ability to navigate life's challenges effectively. The Stoics, emphasizing self-awareness and rational thinking, offer powerful tools to combat self-doubt. They believed true self-worth comes from within, and is based on our character and actions, not external validations or circumstances. Epictetus famously said, "Circumstances don't make the man. They only reveal him to himself." This perspective encourages us to see challenges not as threats to our self-worth, but as opportunities to demonstrate and develop our character. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of focusing on what's within our control. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By concentrating on our thoughts, judgments, and actions, rather than others' opinions or external outcomes, we can build a more stable sense of self-confidence. Moreover, the Stoics practiced negative visualization, imagining worst-case scenarios to prepare for them mentally. When applied to self-doubt, this technique can help us realize that even if our fears come true, we have the strength to handle the consequences. Practical guide. 1. Practice self-awareness. Regularly reflect on your thoughts and actions. Identify when self-doubt arises and what triggers it. 2. Focus on what you can control. When facing a challenge, list what aspects are within your control and focus your energy there. 3. Reframe negative self-talk. When you catch yourself in negative self-talk, pause and ask, "Is this thought rational? How would I advise a friend in this situation?" 4. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity. View mistakes not as evidence of inadequacy, but as chances to grow and improve. 5. Practice gratitude. Regularly acknowledge your strengths and accomplishments, no matter how small. 6. Set realistic goals. Break larger goals into smaller, achievable steps to build confidence through consistent progress. 7. Cultivate virtue. Focus on developing positive character traits, wisdom, justice, courage, self-control, as the basis of your self-worth. Let me help you guys by providing an example to simplify it. Let's consider the story of Alex, a 28-year-old software developer. Despite being highly skilled, Alex constantly doubted his abilities. He hesitated to apply for promotions, convinced he wasn't ready. He rarely shared his ideas in team meetings, fearing they might be considered stupid. Even when he succeeded in projects, Alex attributed it to luck rather than competence. This self-doubt was holding Alex back in his career and personal life. He passed up growth opportunities, struggled with imposter syndrome, and often felt stressed and unfulfilled. The turning point came when Alex's mentor recommended a book on Stoic philosophy. Epictetus's teaching particularly struck Alex. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. He realized he had let his self-doubt control his reactions to every situation. Inspired by Stoic principles, Alex began to reshape his approach. 1. He started a daily journaling practice, reflecting on his thoughts and actions. This helped him identify patterns in his self-doubt and the situations that triggered it. 2. Alex practiced focusing on what he could control. Before starting a project, he'd list what aspects were within his influence, his effort, learning, communication, and what weren't, others' opinions, unforeseen technical issues. This helped him direct his energy more productively. 3. He learned to reframe his negative self-talk. When the voice of doubt crept in, Alex would pause and ask, "Is this thought rational? What would I tell a friend in this situation?" Often he realized his self-doubt was baseless or exaggerated. 4. Alex started embracing failure as a learning opportunity. When he made mistakes, instead of criticizing himself, he'd ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I improve next time?" 5. He began a gratitude practice, noting 3 daily things he was proud of. This helped him acknowledge his strengths and accomplishments, which he had often overlooked. 6. Alex set realistic incremental goals for himself. Instead of being overwhelmed by the idea of becoming a perfect developer, he focused on improving specific skills one at a time. 7. He started to focus on cultivating virtue in his work, striving for wisdom in his technical decisions, justice in his team interactions, courage in sharing his ideas, and self-control in managing his time and efforts. Over time, Alex noticed a significant shift. He felt more confident in team meetings and began to share his ideas more freely. He applied for and received a promotion, realizing that even if he didn't get it, the experience would be valuable. His work became more fulfilling as he focused on personal growth rather than external validation. Most importantly, Alex developed a stronger, more stable sense of self-worth. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By changing his perspective on self-doubt, Alex changed his entire career and life experience. Now, it's your turn to apply these Stoic principles to your self-doubt. Take a moment to identify an area of your life where you often experience self-doubt. Write it down, then ask yourself, 1. What aspects of this situation are within my control? 2. What would I say if I were advising a friend in this situation? 3. What's the worst that could happen, and how would I cope? 4. What strengths or past successes can I draw upon in this situation? Share your insights in the comments below. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate self-doubt, but to transform it from a paralyzing force into a tool for self-reflection and growth. As we move forward, keep in mind these words from Epictetus. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. In our next section, we'll confront the destructive habit of negative self-talk, exploring how Stoic wisdom can help us cultivate a more positive and empowering inner dialogue. Negative self-talk. Negative self-talk is the inner critic that constantly berates us, undermines our confidence, and colors our world perception. It's that persistent voice in our head that says things like, "I'm not good enough," "I always mess up," or "I'll never succeed." This internal dialogue can be so habitual that we often don't even realize we're doing it. The impact of negative self-talk can be profound: lowered self-esteem and confidence, increased stress and anxiety, reduced motivation and productivity, self-fulfilling prophecies of failure, strained relationships due to projected insecurities, missed opportunities due to fear and self-doubt. Negative self-talk often stems from internalized criticism from others, past failures, or societal pressures. It can become a lens through which we view every experience, distorting our perception of reality and limiting our potential. The Stoics understood the power of our thoughts in shaping our reality. Epictetus famously said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them." This insight is particularly relevant to negative self-talk. The Stoics emphasized the importance of rational thinking and self-examination. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By recognizing that our thoughts are under our control, we can begin to challenge and change our negative self-talk. Moreover, the Stoics practiced premeditation of evils, imagining worst-case scenarios to prepare for them mentally. When applied to negative self-talk, this technique can help us realize that even if our fears come true, we have the strength to handle the consequences. The Stoic concept of focusing on what's within our control is also crucial. We can build a more positive and empowering inner dialogue by concentrating on our thoughts and actions rather than external outcomes or others' opinions. Practical guide. 1. Identify negative self-talk. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. When you catch yourself in negative self-talk, pause and acknowledge it. 2. Challenge irrational thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought based on facts? Is there evidence to support or refute it? 3. Reframe negative statements. Turn "I can't do this" into "this is challenging, but I can learn and improve." 4. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with a kindness you'd offer a good friend. 5. Use positive affirmations. Develop a list of realistic positive statements about yourself and repeat them regularly. 6. Focus on growth. Instead of fixating on perceived failures, ask, what can I learn from this? 7. Cultivate gratitude. Regularly acknowledge your strengths, accomplishments, and the positive aspects of your life. Example, meet Sophia, a 35-year-old marketing executive. On the surface, Sophia appeared successful and confident. However, her inner world was a battlefield of negative self-talk. Every minor setback triggered a barrage of self-criticism. I'm such an idiot. I'll never be good enough. Everyone must think I'm a fraud. This constant negativity was taking its toll. Sophia struggled with insomnia, experienced frequent anxiety attacks, and found herself hesitating to take on new challenges at work. Her relationships suffered as she projected her insecurities onto others, constantly assuming they were judging her as harshly as she judged herself. The turning point came when Sophia's therapist introduced her to Stoic philosophy. Epictetus' teaching particularly struck Sophia. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. She realized her negative self-talk was not an inevitable reaction to events, but a habit she could change. Inspired by Stoic principles, Sophia began to reshape her inner dialogue. 1. She started a thought log, writing down her negative self-talk throughout the day. This helped her become more aware of her patterns and triggers. 2. Sophia practiced challenging her irrational thoughts. When the voice of her inner critic arose, she'd pause and ask, is this thought based on facts? What evidence do I have for or against it? 3. She learned to reframe her negative statements. I'm such an idiot became, I made a mistake, and that's okay. What can I learn from this? 4. Sophia cultivated self-compassion. When facing challenges, she'd ask herself, how would I talk to a friend in this situation? And apply that kindness to herself. 5. She developed a list of positive affirmations based on her genuine strengths and values. Each morning, she'd repeat these to herself. I am capable and resilient. I learn and grow from challenges, and others' opinions do not determine my worth. 6. Sophia adopted a growth mindset. Instead of seeing setbacks as evidence of her inadequacy, she viewed them as opportunities for learning and improvement. 7. She started a daily gratitude practice, noting 3 things she was thankful for about herself or her life. This helped balance her tendency to focus on the negatives. Over time, Sophia noticed a significant shift. Her anxiety decreased, and she slept better at night. She felt more confident at work and began to take on new challenges with enthusiasm rather than fear. Her relationships improved as she became less defensive and more open. Most importantly, Sophia developed a kinder, more supportive relationship with herself. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By changing the color of her thoughts, Sophia transformed her entire life experience. Now, it's your turn to apply these Stoic principles to your negative self-talk. Take a moment to identify a common negative thought you have about yourself. Write it down. Then ask yourself, 1. Is this thought based on facts? What evidence do I have for or against it? 2. How would I rephrase this thought more positively and realistically? 3. If a friend expressed this thought about themselves, what would I say to them? 4. What can I learn? Or how can I grow from the situation that triggered this thought? Share your insights in the comments below. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate all negative thoughts, but to develop a more balanced, rational, and compassionate inner dialogue. As we move forward, keep in mind these words from Seneca. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. In our final section, we'll confront the pervasive habit of procrastination, exploring how Stoic wisdom can help us overcome inertia and take purposeful action. Procrastination. Procrastination, the habit of delaying or postponing tasks, is a common struggle that can significantly impact our productivity, goals, and overall well-being. It's not merely about poor time management. Procrastination often stems from deeper emotional and psychological factors. Procrastination manifests in various ways: putting off important tasks until the last minute, spending excessive time on trivial activities, avoiding challenging or uncomfortable tasks, starting projects but never finishing them, constantly making excuses for delays. The consequences of chronic procrastination can be severe: increased stress and anxiety, missed opportunities and deadlines, lower quality of work, damaged relationships and reputation, feelings of guilt and low self-esteem. At its core, procrastination is often a coping mechanism for dealing with negative emotions associated with a task: fear of failure, perfectionism, or feeling overwhelmed. The Stoics, emphasizing rational thinking and virtuous action, offer valuable insights for overcoming procrastination. They understood that our actions, not our intentions, define us. Epictetus wisely noted, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen." This perspective encourages us to embrace the process of gradual progress rather than being paralyzed by the enormity of a task. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of focusing on what's within our control. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice." We can overcome procrastination by directing our attention to the present moment and our immediate actions. Moreover, the Stoic principle of virtue as the highest good can be a powerful motivator. When we align our actions with our values and see our work as a means of developing character, we're less likely to put things off. Practical Guide 1. Break tasks into smaller, manageable steps, making large projects less overwhelming. 2. Use the 5-minute rule. Commit to working on a task for just 5 minutes. Often you'll find momentum and continue beyond that. 3. Practice mindfulness. When you notice the urge to procrastinate, pause and observe the feeling without judgment. 4. Identify and challenge procrastination thoughts. Question the validity of excuses you make for delaying tasks. 5. Create a structured environment. Minimize distractions and set up your space to facilitate focus. 6. Use the Stoic negative visualization technique. Imagine the consequences of not completing the task to motivate action. 7. Focus on the process, not the outcome. Concentrate on taking consistent small actions rather than fixating on the end result. Meet James, a 40-year-old aspiring novelist. For years, James talked about writing a book but never seemed to make significant progress. He would start strong, writing for a few days or weeks, but inevitably, he'd find reasons to put it off. He was too busy, not inspired enough, or needed to do more research. James's procrastination was taking a toll. He felt guilty and frustrated with himself. His self-esteem suffered, and he began to doubt whether he'd ever achieve his dream. His relationships were strained as he grew defensive when friends or family asked about his writing progress. The turning point came when James attended a writing workshop where the instructor introduced Stoic principles for overcoming creative blocks. He was particularly struck by Epictetus's teaching. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. James realized that all his talk about writing was meaningless without consistent action. Inspired by Stoic wisdom, James began to reshape his approach. 1. He broke his book project into smaller, manageable tasks. Instead of write a novel, his daily goal became write 500 words. 2. James adopted the 5-minute rule. Even when he wasn't motivated, he committed to sitting at his desk and writing for just 5 minutes. Often, he'd find himself continuing well beyond that initial commitment. 3. He practiced mindfulness when the urge to procrastinate arose. Instead of immediately giving in to distractions, he'd pause and observe his feelings, often realizing that his reluctance was based on irrational fears. 4. James started challenging his procrastination thoughts. When he caught himself making excuses, he'd ask, "Is this really true? What evidence do I have?" 5. He created a dedicated writing space free from distractions and established a regular writing routine. 6. Using the Stoic negative visualization technique, James would vividly imagine his regret if years passed, and he never completed his novel. This motivated him to take action in the present. 7. James shifted his focus from the daunting task of writing a perfect novel to simply showing up each day and putting words on the page, embracing the process of gradual improvement. Over time, James noticed a significant shift. His daily word count increased, and he looked forward to his writing sessions rather than dreading them. A sense of accomplishment and progress replaced the guilt and frustration. Most importantly, James developed a stronger sense of self-efficacy and integrity. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By changing his approach to procrastination, James progressed in his novel and transformed his self-image and sense of purpose. Now, it's your turn to apply these Stoic principles to your own procrastination habits. Think of a task or goal you've been putting off. Write it down, then ask yourself, 1. How can I break this task into smaller, more manageable steps? 2. What's the most minor action I can take right now to make progress? 3. What thoughts or excuses typically lead me to procrastinate on this task? 4. How can I reframe this task to align with my values and long-term goals? Share your insights in the comments below. Remember, the goal isn't to achieve perfection overnight, but to consistently practice purposeful action. As we conclude our journey through these 7 habits to quit, keep in mind these words from Seneca. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. By applying Stoic wisdom to our daily lives, we can overcome these destructive habits and cultivate a life of purpose, resilience, and inner peace. As we reach the end of our Stoic journey through these 7 habits to quit, let's take a moment to reflect on the wisdom we've uncovered and the practical strategies we've explored. We began by addressing overthinking, learning to focus our mental energy on what truly matters. We then tackled the people-pleasing habit, recognizing the importance of staying true to our values. We explored how to let go of living in the past and instead embrace the present moment. We confronted the habit of constant worrying, discovering how to distinguish between what we can and cannot control. We delved into the challenge of self-doubt, finding ways to build genuine self-confidence based on our actions and character. We addressed the destructive power of negative self-talk, learning to cultivate a more compassionate and rational inner dialogue. Finally, we faced the pervasive habit of procrastination, uncovering Stoic strategies to take consistent, purposeful action. Throughout this journey, we've drawn upon the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. Though centuries old, their insights remain remarkably relevant to our modern challenges. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This fundamental Stoic principle underlies all the strategies we've discussed. By focusing on what's within our control, our thoughts, judgments, and actions, we can transform our lives and find greater peace and fulfillment. But remember, as Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. The value of these Stoic teachings lies not in understanding them intellectually, but in applying them consistently in our daily lives. So, I challenge you to choose one of these 7 habits that resonate most strongly with you. Commit to working on it for the next 30 days. Use the practical strategies we've discussed. Draw upon the Stoic wisdom we've explored, and observe how it impacts your life. Here's a quick recap of the 7 habits to quit. 1. Overthinking. 2. Trying to please everyone. 3. Living in the past. 4. Worrying. 5. Doubting yourself. 6. Negative self-talk. 7. Procrastination. Which one will you focus on? Share your commitment in the comments below. Let's create a community of support and accountability as we embark on this Stoic journey of self-improvement. Remember, progress, not perfection, is the goal. As Epictetus wisely noted, no great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. Be patient with yourself, celebrate small victories, and trust in gradual improvement. As we conclude, I'll leave you with these powerful words from Seneca. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. Let this be our call to action, to live with purpose, to face our challenges with courage, and to embody the Stoic virtues in our daily lives. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Stoic wisdom. Until next time, stay solid and rational, and strive for virtue. Remember, you can shape your thoughts, actions, and ultimately, your life. Use that power wisely. If you found value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, The Stoic Community. Together, let's continue our journey of growth and self-discovery through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism.